Hi everyone, Eileen here. I have a new video tutorial for you today entitled Believe in Magic. I'm featuring one of my favourite stamps, Willow the Witch, as it's Halloween, along with the largest, well it's close to Halloween, isn't it? Along with the largest bat from the Bats stamp. And my sentiment today is Believe in Magic. Now, the stunning Willow adores being surrounded by stars. Well, she would, wouldn't she? And the stars I've got here are from the Words To Lavinia stencils. Right, let's go. So just referring to my card, you can see that it's quite vivid, and she's fine. But the demonstration I'm going to do, I'm going to make this main star a little bit paler, a little less prominent with my colours, so that it gives Willow the Witch a more forward-looking aspect. She will come out from the card more because she won't be competing with that strong colour. Well, that's the plan. Let's see what I can do. Now, the Words To stencil is quite large, but I keep it in this envelope. And why do I? Well, I've cut it up. I'm always cutting my stuff around. So I've got all the words. They're all fine. I use them a lot, but I find that they're easier to use for me like this. And I have the stars here. So off we go. I'll pop these back in the envelope in a moment. So here is my stencil stars all ready to go, except that I've got ink on it where I made the main card. So just wiping that off. Now this large star here is the one that I'm after positioning more or less in the beginning of the card. I want one of the points to go up. Yes, there we are. So around about that in the middle of the card, like so. And then I'm using Sweet Poppy stencil tape just to hold it down and to stop any stray ink going over the card in areas that I don't want it to. Like so. I think that I might be, bear with me, I might be a little bit off with that. I might need to reposition it again. I want to get this right. So that's the star that I'm after. Yes, it was too far over. That's better. Yeah. If you're using this stencil and you're not cutting yours up, which not everyone wants to, obviously, then just use masking tape to mask off the areas that you don't want the ink to go into. And probably you won't find it as fiddly as I am. Okay. Right. Move that round. Couple of stencil brushes, in fact 3 in the primary colours, blue, yellow and pink this time, and I'm starting off with Sundance. Let me check that I'm in the shot okay. Could come over a bit more, I think, couldn't it? Yeah, sorry about squeaky chair. Okay. So I'm going to give it a paler look than last time, so just very lightly. I might as well do the other stars while I'm here too, or at least 2 of them. So very lightly with the Sundance, and then I might add a bit of pink confetti. Just very gently, very loose wrist, so there's no pressure on the brush. So I'm just coming in from those pointed outer edges. Just give it a little bit more interest, but I don't want it to be too dark. And then a bit more pink on this to give it a bit of orange tones more. Yeah. And then this one, I'm going back to a little bit of the yellow again, just a tiny amount, and then on to Della Blue. I love this blue, it's gorgeous. And I might even add a little bit of the blue tone to this one as well. Right, now, need more depth maybe in this one. Okay, so off it comes. Mind fingers are clean. A dry cloth, because I'm going to use this stencil again. That's lovely. So a dry cloth, and just wiping it. Wiping the stencil just to get the surplus ink away. And then popping it down again. And this time I'm going to put the larger stencil at the bottom. I'm going across the others, it doesn't matter. Like so. Back to the tape. Just to anchor it down. Beautiful sunny day down here today in North Kent. I hope it's the same where you are. I said to my husband, can you check the phone, please, Ken, that it stays silent, and I'm going to be filming. So he said, okay, come on, Daisy dog, let's go upstairs, we know our place. And she just followed him up. So sweet. She's a darling, she is. Right, back to the card. So, blue in this one. And just a little more tape here so that I don't stray out of the stencil. And another bit of blue here. Change brushes, change ink pads, back to confetti. So you're getting, oh, now look, didn't tape that off, did I? That was deliberately done so that you could see how I get rid of it. So a bit of pink there, a bit more tape, a bit late, but better late than never. Okay, and a bit of pink here. And then I think I'll have a bit of pink here too. Right, I'm going to put some blue in this one. So I've got some lovely purple tones now. So let's have a look. Oh yes, I'm liking that. I've dropped my stencil. I'll pick that up. And I'm wiping now, I'm wiping the stencil again to remove any surplus ink. Now I'm just going to pop this down. I think that it needs another star in here. So I'm coming in that area, but up a little bit. I don't want them in lines. It wouldn't be good if they're in lines. And I think I'm going back to the yellow and just give it a pale lemony colour. Yes, that looks okay. And then coming down here, I think it could do with another one there. Yes. And then one in the middle. Again, sticking to the lemon. So they are sinking into the background. But they're filling in some areas that looked a little lonely. That's the word. Yeah. And then finally, I think I'm going to put some blue in up here. A bit more. Holding it tight. Yes. So I've got a small amount here I want rid of and that over there. But other than that, I think it's quite good. Maybe it's a little bit busier than the original one. I don't mind that. It's colourful. It's good. And now I'm using my Tombow Mono Sand Eraser for ink. Taking some of the copy paper to protect my card. Just going to get rid of this bit of stray pink here. This multifarious cardstock from Lavinia Stamps, it does put up with some punishment from me, I'll tell you. It's not always successful, because sometimes I can be so heavy-handed I make a hole in the card and it goes, whoa, you know, back off a bit. But when the ink is only slightly smudged on or marks are made and they're not too dark, it will get rid of it. So I've got that one there as well. And then there's a bit of blue here that came out from the stencil. I want rid of that as well. So I can still see it slightly in the background, but it's not too bad. So now I'm going to reposition it again because this is where I want to stamp. Now I'm quite happy with those lovely colours. I'll just clear the decks a bit. And bring on the stamps. And here's the beautiful Willow the Witch. And I'm going to use my stamp press for this. I just want to make sure that it's positioned where you can see it. I'm using one of these Sizzix sticky sheets. I find that they are really helpful in gripping my card. Mind you, I have a job removing the card from it because it wants to hold on to it. But win some, lose some, don't you? So popping that down in the right way, aiming for this orange star to be where I want to stamp the witch. I should be okay with all that protection. And there she goes. Around about there, so her head is positioned in that star that you've already allocated to be the main star of where you want to face you, you know, positioned so you can see it in the centre of your card. Move this over a little. Versifying Clair Nocturne. Just going to wipe the outside of my stamp. Over we go again. I've got one of these pressure tools. Just not pressing too heavily though. And actually she's fine first time. So I don't need to reposition her, but I still want to butt it up because I want to put down now. Just going to wipe my stamp over with a damp cloth. And then I'm bringing in the pot. What's it? Cauldron. I knew it was called something else. I thought, pot? Yeah, okay. Listen, it's early in the morning, all right? The brain hasn't fully engaged. So here we are. So I'm going to pop the pot down, the cauldron. Like so. Just hovering over the top of her dress. Actually, I could bring it down a little so that one of the legs of the cauldron is just touching that. And it acts as a guide, the hem of her dress. Right. Now be gentle when you're inking up this cauldron because there's some texture in the design. And if you squish too wet a pad into the stamp, the ink will fill up all those areas that you don't want it to. You actually want to see the texture in the design, the lines coming out on your image. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. I was thinking, if I've over-inked this stamp, I'm going to look a little bit of a Wally, but I hope I haven't. I hope that you can see the texture. Oh, yeah, look, good. Relief. Okay, I've just got to wipe this off with a damp cloth as well. And fingers. And then I'm going on to my next stamp, which is lovely font, sentiment stamp, and it's called Believe in Magic. And it's well loved. Look, you can see it's well loved. So I'm going to pop that down there. Up just a little maybe. Like so. And Nocturne again. And again, gentle tapping. And there we are. Pop that out. And that. Lift off my card. I'll leave the stamp on the stamp press and wash it when I finish the session. A couple of bits of copy paper down again. It's just to protect my card from any stray ink. I have a bit there, so let's get rid of that. I don't think that pink mark actually is ink. I think it's from my nail polish. Anyway, it's gone now. Okie dokie, nearly there. I'm just going to frame using a Sharpie. You can use a ruler for this or do it at the very beginning of the card making session if you're worried about going across your card and wrecking it, which I do on occasion, I have to say. I've got a little bit more careful now. Okay, right, the last thing to do is to pop down some enamel accents so that it looks like some sort of potion rising up from the cauldron. So, of course, potions are often blue, aren't they? And so here we go with the magic potion in blue. Make sure your bottle is nice and vertical. And then I've got to test one so it's flowing freely. Now I'm going to put, I don't want the dots, blobs to be too big. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get a rhythm. 5, 6, 7. Okay, there you are. First one maybe is a little bit on the large size, but I can live with that. So I've really loved that. The final thing I'm going to do, which actually I didn't do on the main card, is to pop in, I'm looking for a grey pencil. I did have one here. This is, I think this one will do. It's a Polychromos warm grey. I'm just going to pop down a tiny amount under the cauldron or with the crayon so that it, I don't know if you can see it on a camera, but it just makes the images grounded. It just grounds the witch and the cauldron. But I don't want it to be too prominent because the colours and the images of my beautiful Willow the Witch are the main features. So it's just noticeable there. In fact, I've covered the legs up of the cauldron, so I'm going to take a black ink pen and just re-ink those over the top so it brings them back to the front, to the foreground. Okay, so let's pop that down. Here is the one that I made earlier on. So all I've done is to take an A4 piece of multifarious cardstock in white or any white cardstock that you have, and I've made a card blank by folding the A4 sheet, creasing it and cutting it, and I'm 10th fold as normal. You can go the other way if you wish to, and Oh, I've forgotten my bat. Look. Oh, I've got to put him in. And then I mounted it just onto the card blank. But I've forgotten the bat. Stay with me. I didn't hear you screaming at me. It obviously wasn't loud enough. Eileen, you're batty. You've forgotten it. So, here we go. I have a block. And this is from the bats set. And you get, look, a whole load of bats. I don't know what a flock of bats is called. If you know, if you could put it in the comments, I'm always willing to learn. And then there's a large bat, and that is the one that I'm using here. Put it down on the ink pad itself. Oh dear, see, I'm losing the grip here. Right, onto the block would be good. I've inked up with VersaFine Claire Nocturne. I'm just going to pop the bat in here. Gently does it, not too heavy. Down, up, and there we are. Okay, disaster averted. Right, finished. What do you reckon? Very quick card, really. I mean, I did take my time because I'm relaxed and chilled, but I reckon you could whip through this in no time at all. What do you think? Thanks ever so much for looking today. And I'll see you again very soon. Appreciate you joining me. Thank you. Bye for now.